Welcome to Lifting Leaders Podcast, where we are unleashing leader possibilities to make a better world. I'm Crystal Roberts, and together with Trisha Ryan, we're diving deeper into some of the complexities of the world's most critical challenges and exploring innovative ways of navigating through them.
Through interviews with experts and leaders just like you, we're exploring what it takes to thrive as a leader today and examining new ways of thinking about how to creatively lead into a more equitable, socially responsible, and sustainable future. And the future starts now.
Hi, Trisha. How are you?
I'm great, Crystal. Happy Earth Day.
Yes. Happy Earth Day. Earth Day in New York.
Yes, and we're here for a reason.
Yeah, we are here to celebrate Earth Day with the premiere of Treeson, an eco-musical.
Off-Broadway.
Off-Broadway, yes.
Absolutely amazing. And today we're going to get a chance to just take another walk with Victoria Campbell and Andrew Coopman, both leaders of the band when it comes to this particular musical. So I'm excited. We have so much to talk to them about today. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So this episode is a follow-up, actually, to episode 88, where we had both Victoria and Andrew on to talk about Treeson and this collaboration that they had. And so now we got to talk with them. It was such a treat to talk with them in the afternoon of the actual premiere. And so that's what you're going to hear in just a minute. We wanted to give you just a tiny bit of background, but their full bios are actually in episode 88. So Victoria Campbell is a writer, composer, lyricist, playwright, and IO psychologist. She grew up in Seattle, moved to Switzerland in 2019, then moved to New York City in 2022. She's a member of the BMI Lehman Engel Music Theater Workshop, a Soho House Foundation Fellow, and an incoming artist in residence at the Tyrone Guthrie Centre in Ireland. Victoria is the creator of Treeson, and she wrote all of the lyrics and music.
Okay, let's learn a little bit about Andrew. And if you do want to know more about his bio, it is in episode 88. But Andrew is a director, choreographer, and playwright of Middle Eastern descent, a Director's Project Future Now Directing Fellowship alumnus, and current Drama League Artistic Associate. His work as a director and choreographer has been seen on stages in Chicago, Dallas, Milwaukee, Ithaca, New York City, and more. And for this project, Andrew is the co-book writer for Treeson. We're so excited that we're hearing from him today. He is pretty seasoned. I think that the two of them collaborating has been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and to listen to them, I think you're in for a treat.
Yeah. So sit back and listen in on this inspiring conversation. So hello, Victoria and Andrew. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Hello.
So we are super excited to have you right fresh off of the sound check. How did it go?
You know, it went really, really well. We have a fabulously talented cast who are beyond pros. They are just such a it is a director's dream to work with a creative ensemble who's good at creative problem solving, who's good at flexibility, who's good and sensible with their decisions, and who contribute and collaborate. You know, there are hurdles when you enter into a space you have not been in before, when the measurements of the space are not what you thought they were.
Oh, no.
But what was amazing is I gathered the cast together. I asked them to have flexible kindness with each other, and then they worked through the show and found their own solutions. So overall, I would say the sound check went wonderfully well.
I would agree. I basically just sat back and relaxed and watched Andrew do their directorial magic. It was such a pleasure just to see the cast getting into character, after 4 days of rehearsals, they were kind of learning the music and kind of getting familiar with the work. And today I was seeing some like emoting and expressing and like gestures, and they were just really, really leaning into it. And it was just, I'm not going to lie, I shed a couple tears during sound check, and I'm going to be like a hot mess tonight. But it was so, so fun and so just lovely to see it come together.
Oh, speaking of a hot mess tonight, I'm thinking, how are you feeling right now? Because this is an exciting day. I know Crystal and I have been actually counting the minutes practically all day long. We had to go walk at Central Park just to get the energy out because we're excited about tonight. But that's just us. What about you?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm so thrilled to have you here. It means so much that you're here to support Treeson, and you've supported us along the way in our journey. I'm feeling a bunch of things, honestly, like quite anxious, nervous, excited, tired, but just like overwhelmed with emotion. And I'm gonna be present tonight and just enjoy it for what it is, and it's gonna be great. So a bunch of good things.
I'm feeling great. I think this is where, with love, I say the difference in our experiences is a gift. This is not my first rodeo putting up a show. This is my first time at 54 Below, so that's a cool gift in and of itself. But I stage shows 3 or 4 times a year since I was 20. And so this is old hat to me, and I'm excited because I love that moment where I can bless and release the project, where I can hand it over to the cast and say, this is your show now. My job is done. I've done the thing I came here to do. Vicki has been a gift of a collaborator, and I'm so proud of the work she's done. And I feel great. I'm ready to go. It's kind of it's like watching my baby go off to college.
One of the most heartwarming things about our last interview was that connection between the two of you. And even though we weren't in person like we are now, we could feel that. And so I was curious, it's been, I think it was 6 weeks ago. How is the collaboration going?
Admittedly, I think I maybe have been driving Andrew a little nuts. Emailing and texting at like 2 a.m. and these random, good morning, hi, here's what I'm thinking, like a list of my stresses.
It's wonderful to have someone who's so passionate about the work that they do. And, she uses these words like drive me crazy, and it's not that. It's not that. It's not that at all, because, like, I was there once. Like, I remember that for my first show being like, oh, my God, but what if they don't step on that one note? Everything's ruined. And I think that's where the balance has come in really well. I've been watching out for Vicki. I've been making sure she doesn't reach that burnout point. I've been making sure that we weigh what is within our control and what is outside of our control. And then we have really stepped forward into like learning how to trust actors, that they are brilliant. God bless, Vicki, for how to the second she has things planned. But like, I think that's a gift more than a hindrance. And so like the collaboration is still like beautiful and well. It's a good balance, right? I'm able to be like, yo, this is good. We're good. Everything's good. Breathe.
Lots of breathing recommendations.
Yes. She learned box breathing this week. It's amazing.
It's wonderful to see you on this side of it. It's, you're gearing up, you're getting ready to go. The excitement's kind of high. Adrenaline's going to be high tonight, right? And I love that feeling. However, tomorrow is the next day. And boy, I know we won't be able to talk to you tomorrow, but I think we're going to have to be having a conversation with you very soon, because I would love to hear, how it landed. After you've had a little while to process this, I would love to know how it landed, because this informs your next venture, right? Yep. And so I'm just excited. I just wanted to give that out. It's not a question, it's just a comment. I just think it's going to be so amazing. And quite frankly, my expectations are a little high, I'll be honest, but quite frankly, I have no doubt that it's going to be amazing. I have seen some of the sheet music. I have heard some of the songs. I've watched some of those reels that you've put out, and they're just fun. I think it's going to be really a moment where we get a real big message, and I'm excited.
I look forward to speaking with you then too. It's kind of an interesting balancing act as a director. Like as directors and as artists, directors are always thinking about their next projects. I mean, like, I literally told Vicki about a project I'm going to Chicago for in October, like, on the way over here. So, like, I'm already, like, that mourning process, that handing over and like the moving on of it all is it's a longer process for directors because unlike performers, they're in the show, they rehearse the show, they perform the show, they take their bow, then it's done. Where I'm working on a show and I'm thinking about the show 6 months from now.
Yeah, and at the concert, we'll have little postcards with QR codes, and one of the QR codes will be to a playbill, but the other will be to a post-concert feedback survey. You know, I am a data analysis person at heart, an IO psychologist, always thinking of metrics and iteration and feedback and improvements. And so we're gonna seek and solicit feedback from the audience to see, you know, what songs resonated with you, what were some confusing plot points, and, you know, what did you like most, and on a scale of 1 to 10. Like, how'd you think? You know, so we're basically seeking feedback so we can continue to improve this project. So this is just like one milestone among hopefully many milestones in the future of Treeson. So we'll be thinking about this for a while, but also want to take a moment tomorrow to pause and just reflect and appreciate the moments in time. But, you know, always on to the next iteration, the next version, and making it better.
Wow, that is quite a twist if you think about it. I wonder how many other premieres are sending out some kind of a survey about, you know, so that you could do the metrics on it. I think this is awesome. I mean, it's a great idea. I wonder how many others will be, you know, getting on board with something like that.
And that's where also Vicki's strength comes into play, that she is a data analyst. Analyst. Vicki's strength as a person who analyzes data is in that feedback component. And we had a great conversation about, like, the feedback we want, right? Because the feedback wasn't good or was it bad, right? I frankly don't care what people think is good or bad. I'm interested in the moments where they are, what moments made them lean in, what moments like they leaned out, what moments made them turn their heads like the dogs who are confused. Like, I think part of what Vicki's mission in this work has always been is to bring something important to the forefront of people's minds. And sometimes that's not comfortable. And I'm okay with discomfort. You know, challenging people to change the way they live in order to save the planet around them. Happy Earth Day, everyone. Is important. But it's not always an easy conversation, right? It's easy to say save the world, but what does that mean? Yeah. And I think that's why our musical's all about exploring, is that it's not about one person doing everything. It's about you taking your moment to make the choice you can today. And that choice you make today may be different than the choice you make tomorrow. But at the end of the day, we're always making a choice to try to do better with the information we have.
Yeah. I was really thinking along that same line. So what for you is success? What do you hope you walk away from tonight? What feelings, what does success mean to you?
I think my immediate thought is, in the moment tonight, success will just be the energy in the room. The last couple of songs, like, whenever I hear them, from rehearsal 1 through sound check today, like, always bring tears to my eyes. Yes, I'm biased. I wrote the music. I think it's pretty, but
I did not write the music, and I also think it's pretty.
But just, like, seeing the energy on the stage and the energy that the cast is bringing to the audience, the invisible audience, because there's nobody in the room today other than, you know, the chairs. But I'm just success will be knowing that the music is having an impact on the emotions of the people in the room, hoping that they walk away with, like, one small thing. Actually, maybe we should add a question to our survey asking them, like, hey, did you walk away with any ideas of things you might want to do to play your part? Anyway, just I think I'll be able to tell from the energy in the room.
Or shift that question so that they have an open-ended question that they have to actually, you know, so what impacted you? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
My measure of success was defined for me. This involves a little bit of a story, if I may indulge in a story.
Please do.
Oh, yeah. We love stories.
My measure of success actually came about through one of my first major jobs out of college. I went on tour with Missoula Children's Theater. And at that time in my life, I had just graduated with my little BA in theater thinking I know everything about theater. I didn't, but I wanted to believe I did. And I graduated with no job, and then Missoula Children's Theater offered me a job. And I went on the road thinking, like, I'm going to be a director with a capital D, like director. Our first stop was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And basically, Missoula Children's Theater sends two people out, a director and an actor, to make a show in a week with a bunch of kids in the local community. We were working on the Pied Piper. We arrived in this town, and we ended up casting these two young boys as what we call our assistant directors, which are cast members who are not interested in being on the stage, but interested in helping behind the scenes. And we cast these two boys who were brothers. The week was great. They were fantastic assistant directors. And we performed the show. One of them, we'll call him Timmy for this story. Timmy came running up to me, and he said, "I did it." And I was like, yeah, bud, you did it. Like, I was 22 at the time. I didn't really get it. I was like, yeah, you did it. We did the show. Yeah, that's what happened. Yes, correct. We did the show. And he's like, no, I did it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know. You did it. You were great. He gave me a high five and ran away. I didn't think about it. And then his mother and his father came over to me, and the mother was sobbing. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? Is Timmy okay? Like, did he fall and hurt himself? What's happening? Who do I need to hurt? Like, I was like, ready. And she said, no, Timmy's on the spectrum. He's never been given the chance to do anything like this. This is the first time in his entire life we have heard him say, I did it. And I was like, oh my God. And everything changed that moment for me. Everything changed, that no matter how successful I am, no matter how much money I make or the awards I do or where I go, my measure of success is walking away saying, I did it. Or that the cast walks away saying, I did it. Or even my wonderfully talented collaborator, Vicki, walks away saying, I did that, because she produced it. She wrote the music. She did so much work on this. I think my measure of success is that everyone walks away saying, I did that, and is proud of the work they did.
I love that. And I think that's what you have control over too, right?
Yes.
That's what you have control of ultimately. You never know what's going to happen in the middle of the show, but how you see it in your perspective and environment that you created for your cast and crew to be successful.
I hope that everybody who
that.
comes in tonight has a level of curiosity, just wanting to know more, wanting to hear what the music tells them, wanting to keep their minds open so that they can learn something. I think that would be so amazing to just have people walk out in awe, maybe not quite understanding, but certainly processing. That, to me, it's not my success, but to me, that would be a wonderful gift for you guys if that happened. I think it will.
I think that's also like the great thing about this opportunity. A lot of people use 54 Below, I think, as a place to showcase their own talents, which is, I think, great. I think what is the opportunity at 54 Below for those of us who are developing new musicals is that it's an invitation. It's an invitation for the audiences to get more curious about our work, curious about us as artists, and to invest in us. Like, what's next for Treeson, we don't know. But hopefully someone who hears something tonight inspires them to go maybe talk to someone with a lot of money.
Yeah.
We want to find those people. And hopefully they say something, because, like, we've done this thing. We did it. We will have done it. And then it has to have a life on its own for a bit. And then maybe we'll come back to it. But this is a moment where, and it's just this iteration, right? This is not the end of Treeson. This is the end of a chapter of Treeson.
But what a wonderful first step into musicals and Broadway and all of that. You are so close to Broadway. We walked around.
We are
over the
next
last
door
few
to the 54 Below's actual main stage that Days of Wine and Roses just closed on. Like, Kelly O'Hara was right above us like 3 weeks ago. It was great.
Wow. Wow.
So, Victoria, how do you feel about that? What Andrew was just saying as far as next steps. This has been your dream, and that's why we're here. We're here because it's not often that you get to see somebody's dream come true. We're here to witness that. That's what our measure of success is.
Well, the next step will be, first and foremost, look at that feedback form with the audience feedback.
No, incorrect. First step is that you're going to rest because you have earned it.
Thank you, collaborator.
Celebrate.
Andrew takes care of me. Andrew makes sure I sleep, I eat, I drink water, I drink coffee. But I think we've heard a lot of the songs performed live in little bits and pieces at cabarets, and then this will be the first, basically nearly full concert production of the entire score. The venue has a time limit, so we can't hear all the songs, but like 90% of the songs. And I think like we're ready for a workshop production. We need to like hear the whole thing, see the whole thing, staged, semi-staged, acted out in a room with lighting, staging, maybe some costumes and some props, and just like see it on its feet and iterate it. I'll put it out in the universe when I manifest it. I don't want to jinx it, but even Andrew doesn't know yet because I haven't had time to update Andrew. A couple days ago, I got an email, Andrew, from a producing director. Don't worry, I told him I already have a director, named Andrew Coopman, who wants to possibly have Treeson be the inaugural production of their theater in Burlington, Vermont. They reached out to me. They're like, do you know that Burlington is like the birthplace of so many musicals, including Hadestown? I'm like, yes, sir, of course I know this. And they're like, well, we'd be honored to have Treeson be a contender for our inaugural production. So I'm having a meeting with them in a couple of weeks. Andrew, you should be on that call, but I will update you later once I sleep and have more time.
Surprise.
Great.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's a next path forward, right?
It is.
It's a step forward. It's the right energy moving
Every
it forward.
step forward
Yeah.
is a good step, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love
my
that.
gosh, that's exciting. And you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. We get the sneak peek
So
on
did
it.
I.
So if we can shift just for a second, Andrew, before we got on, you were talking a little bit about an exciting day that you had today, and I thought maybe you would want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Artists are artists every day of every moment. However, a lot of us have day jobs that pay the bills. And I'm very lucky and fortunate enough to do what I love as a passion and as my day job. So I am the artistic associate of the Drama League, which is a nonprofit and the only nonprofit that supports directors in the world. So we are an organization that provides fellowships, residencies, and assistantships, as well as funding opportunities for directors and their projects. Part of my job, in addition to running the residency program, is managing the nominations processes, because the Drama League has the Drama League Awards, which is actually the oldest award in New York City. We predate the Tonys.
Wow. Wow.
And the Drama League, historically, the Drama League Awards has been a precursor to the Tonys as to who wins. And this morning was the end of a very long journey with this year of nominations. We saw over 200 shows, and I scored and tabulated them all. And yesterday on a Sunday, me and my team decided which shows and which people would be nominated based on the nominators' recommendations and our committees. And this morning, we announced the nominations with Vanessa Williams and Bebe Neuwirth, who is currently starring on Broadway in Cabaret. And it was lovely to hear them announce this and for us to celebrate a wonderful year of industry. It's amazing to see our industry has bounced back to some degree. We're not fully there yet, but in a time where we are coming out of the pandemic and still in it, and the theaters are struggling, all you listeners, please support your local arts businesses. They need it. Go to shows, see them, support them, let them know what you want to see. But even here in New York, it's still a struggle. To take a moment to celebrate what's happening on Broadway right now and to amplify the work being done is a gift. And I'm very thankful for that. I, over the past 2 weeks, have seen 15 shows.
Wow.
Which is amazing and a privilege that I will never, ever get over. Even when I begrudge it a little bit on the way, I'm never disappointed. Yeah, so we announced our nominations. You can check those out on the Drama League Instagram page or on our website. The Drama League Awards are on May 17th.
And we will put a link to that in our show notes.
Great.
That'll be great. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of great shows and performers and directors who got nominated. And I love a moment where celebrate the work, not winning. This is my favorite moment of the award season is the nominations, because awards are, yes, signified of the work done and recognition of labor, but they are also singular, where nominations are a celebration of multiple talents and multiple works and multiple efforts from Broadway to off-Broadway.
I would expect they're probably also incentive for people who are trying to move in that direction. So inspiring.
Yeah. If you want my personal recommendations, hit me up on Instagram. I will be happy to share my thoughts.
This is like the best sit around and enjoy a moment with two amazing people.
It's unfortunate is the listeners can't see the amazing little treats you brought us. Like, that's the unfortunate
I
thing.
didn't want you to go away hungry. That's our incentive. We brought you in with food. I'm kidding. So, Andrew, we know what you're doing next because you're already thinking about your next project.
Yeah, there's like 5 different projects right now.
And Vicki, we know that you're looking to New England as a possible next step.
I guess 6 projects for me now.
But the last time we talked with you personally, you were talking about potential other projects that you were working on. I was just wondering how that's going too. I mean, in the midst of all this is craziness to me. The fact that you're doing this and it's airing tonight, and we're getting ready to see it tonight, and in the mix at the back of your brain, you've got like this whole other world going on. So can you share a little bit?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about the other projects that are not Treeson and Eco Musical. Admittedly, some of those projects have taken a seat on the back burner, but they're moving forward slowly and steadily. I'm working on a musical with a collaborator named Stephanie Henry in Minnesota about the child prodigy Harlem Renaissance-born mixed-race composer Philippa Duke Schuyler. And
wow.
She was considered like the Black Shirley Temple, a very, very famous pianist and composer, wrote 200 songs before she was a teenager, spoke 6 languages, so multi-talented. But unfortunately, because of the era and because of her being a woman and her being mixed race, a lot of her legacy was ignored or kind of shuffled underneath, the rug. But my collaborator Stephanie and I are doing what we can to elevate this person and tell her story. So we're working on that. I'm working on another collaboration with a brilliant composer who's actually going to be at the show tonight. Her name is Nicolette Blount. She's in Massachusetts, and she asked me to help her with a musical about the Queen of Hearts / the Red Queen. It's kind of a villainous story, but also a story about motherhood and parenting and love and loss, and that's in early stages. But honestly, like after this Earth Day concert and after my time at the BMI Lehman Engel Musical Theater Workshop ends in June, I probably will take a little bit of a break from writing musical theater. Andrew is snapping like yes. And I want to work on music that's not theater. So I have some songs I'm working on for like I don't know if it's going to be me singing or I'm going to recruit talent. I know so many great singers, but I want to write like Trisha's pointing at me saying, Vicki,
I was
you
going to
should
say,
sing.
you are one of those talented singers.
Are
Oh
a
my goodness,
wonderful
no.
singer.
Y'all, the other day we had to do a rehearsal with the band, but we released the cast.
No,
so
y'all, you're a wonderful singer.
and then I was like, wait, the band needs some singing to go along with this music so they can follow along. And I had to sing all the parts for the entire score. And it was just like hopping around, but it was fine. I did it. Nobody wants to hear that. No, so I'm looking forward to working on music that's not theater related. I'm doing a residency in Ireland in July for a couple of weeks. That's going to be just the time to not write musical theater, but write other stuff. But yeah, lots of projects going on.
I love that you're looking at composing other music because you do have such talent. Oh my gosh. And I'm not just like out here saying that. I mean it. You're just wonderful. Your songs are gorgeous. And I think that it would go great, whether it's commercial or not. I think it would go really well with public. For people who don't get a chance to go to musicals, people who don't get the exposure to something like that, they need to hear you. They do.
I also love your bent on that what you do, you want it to make a difference. And so it doesn't matter if it's a musical or just a regular song. It's just whatever you're doing, you want it to change the world. And it's an amazing thing. And we need more people who are doing that. That's at the core, that's at the center of what you do.
I mean, let's get Vicki her own show at 54 Below. 54
Oh
Below
my,
presents Vicki.
there you go.
No, thank you. I maybe sell two tickets, one to Andrew, one to my husband.
No, we buy
coming.
tickets too.
4 tickets. I haven't sang since I was 18 years old on stage.
Love that.
So, for both of you, this is Earth Day, right? And the reason Treeson is airing tonight is because it's Earth Day, right? I mean, it was like the perfect setting. What do you want people who are listening to this podcast, who are going to be hearing it after the fact, but what kind of message would you like to leave them with as you are preparing to go off tonight and experience excitement and probably a bit of anxiety or whatever, but definitely excitement about the importance of what we're doing here and what they might want to consider moving forward?
That's a really good question, Trisha. The biggest thing that I think I would want, you want to know what we want people to walk away with or what they can consider?
What they should consider.
I would love for people to see Treeson as an example of one of a million things that people could do to make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. I think that theater, for example, is traditionally a form of entertainment and escapism. And we're using theater as a form of, yes, entertainment and escapism, but also education and empowerment and inspiration. And I would love for people to think about the other areas of their lives. Not everyone's a theater person or a composer or a songwriter, but I want people to consider how they can leverage whatever talents or interests or hobbies they have to make the world a better place. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're a woodworker and, maybe you do it for yourself, but maybe there's other ways to make that a form of activism or inspiration for other people. That's a really bad example. I don't know why I said woodworking, but my point is there are many ways people can make the world a better place that maybe you haven't thought of, that are non-traditional and not intuitive. And so that's what I want people to consider.
I actually love the woodworking example because a friend of my dad's actually loves woodworking and loves making children's toys. And so he donates those for kids who don't have toys, and they love it. So yeah, anything you have a passion around, how can you think about serving others with it? Yeah, love that.
And I'll also say, theater, yes, it's meant to entertain, but actually its roots rest in the idea of ritual and community engagement. Mm-hmm. From the Greeks, imagine if all of New York City had the day off on Earth Day to come see our show, just to learn. Mm-hmm. That's what theater started out as, was ritual and community engagement. Yeah, to answer your question for me, I think I want people to walk away with the feeling that a step forward is still a step forward. Our play is not about presenting perfection, and it's not about presenting a sweepingly specific and simple idea on how to save the world. The musical we have made is about making a choice today, taking a step today. And I think that mirrors both our work on Treeson and what we hope the audience experiences today, is that this musical it's just a step on its development journey. This is not a period, it's a comma. It's a invitation to continue the work and to celebrate the step forward. So I hope that the audience remembers and takes away with them that a choice made today is still a great choice made today, and that tomorrow's a new day to make new choices. And to keep working and to keep taking steps forward, because if you stand still, then that's the moment to be scared, when you're not doing anything.
That's wonderful. I do have one more question that I need to ask, but go ahead, Crystal.
Okay, I have one more question too.
Okay.
Two more questions.
You'll be here for 2 more hours. You guys are
ready? No, we gotta get them on their way. But so we are in the middle of a series called Open Your Heart to Make a Better World, and so we've had Victoria's singing. She's come up with a song already. It's a Madonna song. Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So music, obviously, is such a great way to open people's hearts. What would be your comments around that?
I'll take that one first because that's my career.
Yes.
As a director and as an artist, opening hearts through theater and music and even visual art, all the arts, is about engaging with the other. The inherent belief around theater is that you need an audience. A piece of theater performed for no audience is just a lonely performance in your bathroom. And so I think theater is such a beautiful art. I'll speak on the theater side of things, and I'll let you speak more on music. But on the theater side of things, it's we're asking people to come spend time with us and make the choice to come spend time with us in a theater, and then we're going to put real people on stage in front of them. real people that can see, smell, hear, speak, all the things directly to you. It's not like a movie, right? If you watch The Avengers, so I yell at the screen like, Thor, you're so hot. He can't hear me. I wish he could, but Chris Hemsworth won't hear me. But like in the theater, we have people standing right in front of you telling you a story or bearing their deepest heart to you. And I often ask the question, how are we going to make it in this world right now where the bridges all feel broken? Like where the connective tissue in our society feels like it's fracturing. I think the answer to that is to lean into listening, to lean into empathy, and to invite each other, as in the audience, to come and hear our stories. No matter who you are and what you are, no matter your intersections, at the end of the day, we are fundamentally human, and theater is a human form of art. We are putting humans in front of you to tell a story, and we hope you take something away with you. So that would be my answer around like how art opens up your heart. It's theater it's kind of hinges on that possibility.
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think about this from dual perspectives. One, the intended impact of opening the hearts of the listeners of my music, but also as the creator and as the songwriter of this music, it definitely, the process of being a songwriter and writing music has opened up my heart to feelings and emotions that I didn't know I had in me. I mean, for example, the very first song I wrote is a song called Mother Earth. It is a solo song in Treeson now, and it was written first as like just an apology to the planet, to Mother Earth, and kind of like out of my guilt and my feeling bad for the state of the planet that we've left her in. And so I think for me it's a tool to open up my heart as an artist, but I hope that when people listen to my music, they empathize with the melodies and the lyrics, and that they can maybe find some of those same feelings and sensations in themselves. Does that kind of answer your question? I'm so awkward.
It answers the question great.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I've had like 4 hours of sleep like for a month.
You know,
I think it's great, and it touches on the emotional piece of it, right? Also, that touching your heart through. I know. So Trisha and I, from the very beginning, remember when Vicki actually sang, and we were like in tears, right? The first time you were on the podcast.
What song is that?
we were in tears when you sang it.
It is Birth to
and then we
Earth,
were in
yeah.
tears when we heard it, when we had to do the show notes. And then we were in tears when we heard it
Yeah.
again like 6
Better
months
bring some
later.
Kleenex tonight.
Yeah, it opens
I'll
our
probably
heart.
be in tears again
Yeah.
tonight. You know, I can't help that. But, you know, as you were both talking, just something came to mind as you were talking about, you know, these are people who are in front of you and they're live. And what also came to mind for me was that these are people who have lives and have problems and have issues just like the rest of us. And they come because they love what they do. And they're bringing their love to the people that are there to watch it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I mean, that's the story that was going through my head as I was listening to both of you. I was thinking, isn't it amazing that we get to benefit and we get to, you know, just live in this moment because you brought your love to this. But we also get to enjoy what other people who are just like the rest of us, who live everyday's problems, and yet they put it aside and they step up for other people. It's almost pretty altruistic in a way, even though it's probably not, but it feels a bit altruistic to me, and it's just so beautiful. I do have one more question, and you may or may not be able to answer it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. We get the benefit of listening to Treeson tonight, right? I mean, these amazing songs, which I already know are amazing, so sorry. I already plucked out the music on the scores that I have. What about those people who can't make it to this? Is there anywhere that they can hear this music?
Yeah, for the people who can't make it to the concert tonight, they can check out the original cast album of Treeson and Eco Musical on all digital platforms. You can stream it on Spotify, buy it on Apple iTunes, basically anywhere that music is sold. Mm-hmm. We're also recording the concert tonight. I've hired a videographer, and I believe they're going to publish if not the whole thing, then clips on the 54 Below YouTube channel. And of course, if they follow Treeson Musical on social media, I'll definitely be posting all the highlights and the best bits of the performance tonight. So there's definitely ways to consume elements of the concert tonight without being present. So
we'll make sure that we have links to the Treeson site so that people can get to that. I think that's a great idea. Thank you for making that available, because I know I'm going to want to hear it again, I'm sure, many times. And I can't imagine that people who are listening to us aren't going to want to hear that too. So it's amazing.
So we're gonna wrap it up and let you guys go, but giving you guys the last word, is there anything else that you would like to leave us with, or that was unsaid that you want to make sure gets said? You get the last word, both Andrew and Victoria.
I want people to remember that Earth Day is not just today. Earth Day is every day. And I want them to realize that it's okay to try to be a better steward of the planet in whatever imperfect way that they can. They don't have to do everything. They don't have to do all the things. They can just do one small thing to play their part.
I forced Vicki to go first because my last word has to do with Vicki. My last word is that this is a reminder to every listener who is in our audience and not in our audience, every listener on this podcast, to know you all have the chance to make a dream come true and to do something real. Vicki, in the midst of the world being in chaos, made a choice to do something. She is one person who made a choice to pursue this dream, to write a story that inspires people, to make music that makes them laugh and cry. And she did it having never done it before. And then she asked for help. And then she got support. And then we did rewrites, and then we explored deeper, and we went further. And then we asked for more help and got funders. And then we asked for chances to share our work. And then we asked for opportunities. And then Vicki produced. And then Vicki performed. And I think the thing I want everyone to walk away with most is that no matter where you're at in your life, you have the choice to do something you've always dreamed of, because you never know, it might change the world. So go do something.
Thank you both. I think that just about says it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
I'm sitting in the sun. I'm so hot.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time
Yes.
out of your incredibly busy day to talk with us. We're so honored, and we are really looking forward to tonight. Best
you
of luck.
both.
And is it break a leg? Is that what you
Yes.
say? Yeah, break a leg.
I just knew that. I was like, good luck. And they're like, no.
Don't say that.
All right. Say bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Crystal and Trisha.
Thank you. Bye.
Was that fun or what?
That was so much fun. I loved talking with them. Their energy was incredible. The nerves, you could see the nerves.
Yeah, I think they didn't think that they were coming through a little bit, but honestly, if I were in their shoes right now, I'd be like going inside out. It was absolutely, it was so nice to see them, for one thing, and I think they're ready. They just seem ready, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to tonight. We only have, another few hours or hour and a half until we get to go over there, and it's going to be so exciting. It's going to be a full house.
Yes,
is awesome.
It sold out. How exciting.
This is an amazing, and for those of you who have been listening but may not have really
followed along.
Yeah,
it's a dream come true for Victoria and Andrew. Together, they're just like this dynamic duo, and so we're really excited. As Trisha said, we're dressed up, we're ready to go out the door, but we wanted to sign off on the podcast first before we did.
Well, and before we do sign off, I just want to say how cool, incredibly amazing it is that this first time playwright, right?
Yeah.
She's off Broadway. She's doing a premiere off Broadway in the first actual year of, just a little over a year of writing this thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm amazed for her. I'm just so excited. And I'm excited for Andrew because this is not his first rodeo, as he said in our podcast,
Yeah.
But this is an exciting time for him as well. and he's getting ready to go on another venture, and so might she be.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that we came along for the ride, and I can't wait to see what the next steps are.
Yeah. So let's keep that conversation going. If you have questions or comments about the show, you can find us on all our social media channels at lifting_leaders. We have so many exceptional podcast episodes coming up with more fantastic guests, so be sure to subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. If you know someone who would find this episode inspiring, share it with them. Text them, email them, or take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram. And tag us at lifting_leaders. If you'd like to know more about us, our guests, or the show, please go to our website at liftingleaderspodcast.com. You'll find show notes there as well. If you're looking for help in developing your leaders or would like a growth opportunity yourself through leader coaching, please contact us through our website at www.liftingleaderspodcast.com. Thank you to Ari Chance Roberts for his technical support of our show. Finally, please take 30 seconds and follow us. It helps you because you never miss an episode, and it helps us because you never miss an episode. To follow us, go to the Lifting Leaders podcast show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Then just tap the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner or click on follow. While you're there, if you'd be willing to give us a 5-star rating and review and share the episode with a friend, we'd be so grateful. Thank you, Trisha. This was so much fun. Our trip to New York, celebrating Earth Day.
Celebrating Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to you, Crystal, and thank you so much for being my partner in this, and I just had so much fun while we were here.
And many thanks to you, our listeners. We appreciate you. Find ways every day to lift each other up. Have a fantastic week.
Take care.